short while. I'm sure many of you, if you're on Instagram, will have seen his viral video. He's got an amazing story, super inspirational. When he told me his story face to face, honestly, my eyes were filled up and I just was really emotional. He's a super humble guy. He'll tell you his story. I'm not going to spoil it for everybody. He's been so kind today to give up his time to come and speak to us, and I'm sure you're going to be super inspired after watching his video and hearing his story. Okay, so we're going to watch a short video.
Words I'm going to take off the drop shit and shit. Ain't right every day straight. Still, you know, don't understand.
Amazing. Okay, Alex,
2016, end of 2016. And when I moved to Dubai, I didn't know how to speak English. I didn't have any friend here, and yeah, basically, and I didn't have a job as well. So why did I choose Dubai? Is because I'm from Cameroon, so I have a Cameroonian passport, and my passport does not allow me to travel as much around the world. So I chose Dubai because the visa was just very easy to get. So I came to Dubai, and before I came to Dubai, I was very good in my country. I was doing modeling in my country as well, and I was one of the only person in Cameroon who was selling protein for kids. So why I left, because I just felt like, you know, I wanted to see more in my life. Even though I was very good in my country, I wanted to see more, so I came to Dubai. So when I came, I was looking for a job. So the first job I got was a job as a cleaner in a metropolitan hotel in Sheikh Zayed. Why did I take that job is because I just needed anything that could make me stay in Dubai. So cleaner was my first job. When I got to cleaner, after a couple of months, I started as a waiter as well. Meanwhile, I was learning English. So after almost a year of being a waiter, I resigned and I was personal trainer. After personal trainer, I was real estate. After real estate, I was salesman. After salesman, I was doing some modeling job. Then COVID came. When COVID came, I was broke, homeless, and I was living in a room with like 10 people before I was homeless. So at that point, I was like, this is enough, I need to go back to my country. Like, I was so done with Dubai. And right at the end of COVID, when I was thinking like, because I didn't even have money to go back to my country, so I was thinking of going to the police station and ask them to deport me. So right when I was thinking of doing that, one of my friends from Cameroon, very wealthy friend from Cameroon, he came to Dubai and he asked me if I know any places where he could buy some construction piece for his house in Cameroon that he's building. And I said, say less. So I took him to Sharjah. Sharjah is one of the cheap places where you can get a lot of things. So we bought things for at least $250,000 dirham. And the seller, I got a commission from that. That was 35,000 dirham. And in my whole life in Dubai, that was in 2019. And I came to Dubai end of 2016. In my whole life in Dubai, I've never seen 35,000 dirham. So I had two choices with those 35,000 dirham. I was thinking going back home in Cameroon, which with this 35,000 dirham, it's a lot of money in Cameroon. Or stay here and try to multiply that money. Because I was like, if I sold 35,000, I can see 100,000. So I decided to stay. So with those 35,000, that was in 2021, end of 2020. End of 2020. So with those 35,000, I decided to basically change my life. I did a driving license. I bought a second-hand used car. I put the first deposit. I put a check for my house, the house that I was renting, a studio. It was very cheap at that time. If you for people who have been here like long ago, you know, in JVC studio used to be 20,000 dirham a year. Now it's 40. The same studio, it's double. So at that time, I put the first check that was 10,000, and I did a driving license, and I bought a car, and then I did a visa with all that money. And I didn't have money anymore. But at least during that time where I wasn't working, I was living with 12 people in the room, and the bed was very, very tiny. It was like a prisoner bed. It was very painful. But at least I had like a very nice bed to sleep. I had a privacy, and I had a car to move around, and I had a residency. And I said to myself, well, now I'm gonna try to hustle more because I was loving that comfort that I gave to myself. So after trying everything, I just saw like it didn't work. I even applied for Emirates because one of my dreams was to be a flight attendant for Emirates. I applied for Emirates twice, they rejected me. The second time, I went to the final interview with 100 people. Second time I went to the final interview with Emirates, and at the end, the final interview were 5, and they choose 4 people, they didn't choose me. So at that point, I was very depressed, and yeah, so I kept like trying everything. I even applied for Qatar because I thought maybe if it's not Dubai, it's gonna be Etihad. Which one is in Abu Dhabi? Etihad. So also applied for Etihad. Called me for in Abu Dhabi. First they reject me online. Second time they called me in Abu Dhabi for interview. Went to the interview, rejected as well. So after trying everything, I was like, okay. Usually, like I remember, because I was very active on Instagram because I was doing fitness, personal training. I was a fitness influencer, so I was very active on Instagram. So sometime a brand will contact me from Instagram, like, hey, we like your profile and we would like you to do a campaign for our T-shirt or for our brand. Because I didn't have nothing to do, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So they used to pay me 1,000, sometimes 2,000. So when I finally got that comfort with the house, the car, and I even bought a small dog, and I had my driving license, I had my residency, I was like, okay, fine. Now I'm going to a bit focus on modeling. Bear in mind, I never really wanted to be a model. And also my mom, like she's a very African mom, she always tell me like, go for a job that's going to give you monthly salary, like everything. She also, her dream was for me to be a cabin boy. So after failing at all type of job, I decided to give my 100% into modeling. So I registered to all the modeling agency, and slowly I started to get a lot of jobs. And at the end, I shoot for Emirates. As you can see, I shoot Emirates who rejected me, and I shoot also for Etihad who rejected me. I shoot for Qatar. I applied also for Qatar online. They didn't call me for the interview to reject me, and I shoot for them. Even the job when I was going, because at some point I was like, okay, maybe I need to go back to in the work in the hotel as a waiter again, or maybe as another position. I applied for Jumeirah, they rejected me, and I shoot for them. So I shoot almost for half of the hotel in Dubai, Jumeirah, Marriott, like I can't name, like almost half of the hotel in Dubai, restaurant and company that you can possibly imagine. I shoot for them. And I decided, so I've made during that time, because life in Dubai was very cheap, I've managed to save, that's the most money I've made in Dubai, 250,000 dirham, I saved. And
Yes.
And I forgot to mention when I was cleaner, my salary was 700 dirham per month. So I moved from 700 dirham per month to having 250,000 240,000 dirham in my account, and it was amazing. It was a very very different thing. So one of my goals was to buy a property in Dubai, because I'm very self-aware and I'm aware of my surroundings. So I'm living in GBC, and I saw GBC getting developed very quick. So at that time, studio was going in JVC for 380,000 dirham. And because I work for myself, it's very difficult for me to take a loan in the bank and everything. So I was just waiting to get more cash and invest in the property. And yeah, so I wanted to buy a property. Unfortunately, it did not happen because I didn't have enough money, and I saw the property market in GBC raising like crazy. The same studio that I wanted to buy for 360 or 80 is now 750.
Wow.
So I decided, okay, fine. If you cannot invest in property, or if you cannot invest in a business, the best investment you can do is invest on yourself. So I had a vision board when I was sleeping with 10 people. I had a vision board. That's a vision board. So that was my car that I wanted to drive. Bear in mind, at this time, the screenshot said October 2019. And this wardrobe is a wardrobe in the room where I was living with 10 people. And at that time, I didn't have a bank account. I was struggling even. I wanted to buy my car, I wanted to buy a dog, I wanted to travel. I wanted to be on a billboard in Dubai. Because I'm a model, I was like, okay, I want a big company, like to shoot for a big company and be on a Shenzhen road or whatever. And I wanted to fly my mom to Dubai. And when I wrote it, I don't know, like I had zero idea how I was gonna make 100,000 dirham. Zero idea. I didn't know how I was gonna buy that car, because that car cost 100,000 as well. And all this thing. So the following year in 2022, that's when I realized that I made more than 100,000 dirham, and I bought that car that you saw in the picture, the 2022 version. And then I traveled to the Philippines, I traveled to Zanzibar, I traveled to Thailand. Billboard, I've been on maybe 10 billboards in the city at the same time. So that was like last year. If you go to Shenzhen Road, you see my picture. If you go to Marquette Road, you see my picture. If you go to Abu Dhabi Airport, you see my picture with ATR. If you go to Dubai Airport, you see my picture with Emirates. If you go to the mall, most of the shop have my picture inside. So my picture was everywhere. So I take that. Flying home to Dubai, I flew her twice.
Wow.
And for this prediction, I don't know, when I put my video on Instagram, the video that you just saw, I said to myself that I wrote this in 7th of July, and I posted the video on 8th of July. And I said to myself, this video I made, I wrote a lot of other things, but I said basically I'm going to make 5 million views on that video. And that video on Instagram got 63 million views.
Wow.
And since then, basically I can say that it kind of changed my life a bit, because I had a lot of people messaging me from that video. I had a lot of opportunity. It made me meet a lot of people and open a lot of doors for me. I mean, just imagine 63 million people and at least 1 million people messaging me. It was a life change. Good. So that's a bit of my story, and if you guys have any.
And then made it super big to be on 2 series of Netflix shows. So you need to know.
Yeah, you know what's funny? One of my dreams. He wanted to write the story, and he wanted to own my story for 4 years.
Oh.
And I was like, at the beginning I was like, you know what, go for it. But then along the way, when the video got 63 million, and a lot of people contact me, and now the book, and you don't need to keep the right of my story for 4 years, because you might not have the time or the dedication. He didn't want. He really wanted to own my story, and I was like, okay, I don't think we should keep doing that. So we stopped the book, own the full right of my story, and I'm in contact with a lot of directors who want to do a documentary or a or a movie about the life. And like I was saying, one of my dreams is to be on Netflix. Like that was my life plan. And after I tried everything and it wasn't working, she kept telling me, oh, keep trying. Oh, modeling is not something sure. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. Even back home, also because I was doing a bit of modeling and I have my own business. I wouldn't say it's a fake personality, it's still me, but when I'm on social media, I'm very confident. Like when I'm on social media, I like to refer myself as Eric Fit on social media. The person who is very confident, the person that you cannot, excuse my language, I'm going to take the person out of Eric Fit, the person that you cannot tell shit about.